Ask Reddit by SLC Average Joe. What TV show do you think is a 10/10 that never got popular? Live Action The Tick with Patrick Warburton. Another vote for Better Off Ted. Plus Ed with Tom Cavanagh. Ed was so good. Okay, a 10 is a bit much for anything. But good shows that weren't appreciated. Better Off Ted, unironically funny sitcom about a corrupt supervillainous company and their office workers. Gallivant, musical fantasy night series, fun but a bit too dirty for everyone. First season was A tier, second was not totally horrible, with some great moments, like the lizard and the gay bar. Red Widow, a one-season drama about a recently widowed woman who discovers her husband was a mobster and has to take on his problems to protect her teenage kids. A flawed lead character, an interesting premise, with pretty solid writing and characters. Maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. Obligatory Firefly reference, even though it's definitely popular despite the cancellation. Tuned Ed for Better Off Ted. I'm sad I found it late. Jericho. That was quite mid, tbh. Premise was interesting but it got into this like gritty soap opera stuff. Happy Endings. It made me so angry that Happy Endings was cancelled but 2.5 Men was thriving. Wonderfalls. And Pushing Daisies. Lee Pace. Patriot on Amazon Prime. They didn't hardly advertise it at all, and what they did do made it seem like a generic spy thriller, which it very much is not. The monologue about how to properly fight a dog one-on-one is epic peak television. Highly recommend it, and anything Stephen Conrad makes for that matter. Such a good answer. The show was amazing from the writing to the acting to the music and how it was shot. Lie to Me was a great show that just stopped : Tim Roth was excellent in that. The original Police Squad TV show from the early 80s was a pretty big flop, but it spun off the Naked Gun movies, which were all box office hits. Which is always surprising to me as it's excellent. Dead Like Me. This is the answer I'd give hands down. If it had been on a more mainstream cable channel and not Showtime, it would have done so much better. Pushing Daisies. Sadly, the P-Maker packed up his business and retired as the Elven King of Mirkwood Forest, where he could no longer harm those he loved. Hannibal, 2013 to 2015. Very underappreciated. Ahead of its time. Moody, atmospheric, and a close, hard look at the crime and the violence surrounding the crime. True Detective started a year later and audience went gaga for it. Future Man. Such a great show. The Mick. Seriously, how did that one get cancelled? Trollhunters is amazing, yet I never hear anyone ever talk about it. I know their last movie was completely ruined by the ending alone, but I still think the series and all its spin-offs were great. I loved the movie and how it ended. My son was starting to watch this show called 3 Below Tales of Arcadia, and I remember hearing about Trollhunters Tales of Arcadia. He went back to watch Trollhunters and we watched them all in a series together. After watching Trollhunters, 3 Below and Wizards, I thought the movie did a great job of wrapping it all up. I'll even admit that I got a tiny bit teary-eyed at the end when Jim gives up everything for Toby. Firefly. Firefly was doomed by Fox from the start. They aired episodes out of order and changed the time slot if I remember correctly. I'm glad there was a movie, but it wasn't enough to scratch the itch. Halt and Catch Fire. Pretty much any show Lee Pace was in. Wise Guy. At least seasons 1-3 with Ken Weil. Inside Job. Is it cancelled? I'm waiting to see if there's another season coming. It's Netflix, so you never know. Duck Gently. Bates Motel. Stayed consistent every season. Twists, turns. The atmosphere and vibe of the show was thrilling and haunting. Incredible acting from everyone. Solid story. Shame it never caught on. Went on for a solid 5 seasons though and had a stellar ending. Yes, Vera Farmiga is so good. The Unusuals on ABC. Lasted 1 season, but it's really good. Starred Jeremy Renner and Amber Tamblyn. God, that was such a fun show. Fillmore. Disney ABC Kids animated TV show about safety patrollers. They would do kid-friendly plots like counterfeit baseball cards instead of money or stealing scooters instead of cars. Really clever show and barely lasted 2 seasons. Or kidnapping the school mascot Lobster, or attempted murdering a science biology class tarantula. I loved this show when I was a kid. Seeing now how it is basically CSI for kids is actually funny to me. Always loved crime shows, police procedurals. Edit, Class. Timeless on NBC. Awake. Jason Isaacs' lives to realities where after a car crash, one where his son is alive and the other his wife is alive. Jesus, that sounds depressing. Legion. Got 3 seasons, but I always meet people into the superhero stuff who've never watched it.